Talk Radio Network. This is the Sound of Freedom. My name is Ryan Brooks. We were just talking about Ron Paul, talking about positivity and why that matters so much. Getting back to the negativity, the words that we use, the power behind those words, whether we're, and you know, you can call me a hypocrite, but I'm going to make a conscious effort not to do it anymore. Okay? But calling people names, thrashing on other groups or hating on them, that's only feeding them with more negative energy. Now, there's a difference between doing that and exposing them. Absolutely. People should know what Rockefeller has done. People should know what the Rothschilds have done. People should know who Zbigniew Brzezinski is, and Henry Kissinger, and Larry Summers, and Ben Bernanke, Timothy Geithner. People should know who these powers that shouldn't be are, because those people all are much more powerful than the puppet president. But when it comes to positivity, we must realize that, you know, we're all in this together. This is so much more than even just the United States. This is humanity. We are all in this together. Afghans, Iranians, Syrians, Iraqis, Europeans, Germans, Americans, Canadians, Mexicans, Africans, Chinese, Russians, whatever race you want to throw out there. We are all in this together. It is us versus them. It is the masses of humankind versus a very small group of humans who literally think that they're an advanced version. They think that they're some type of advanced special species. And if we continue to be negative and slander everybody else and lash out and talk about divisive issues and try to talk about divisive things, focus on petty issues, like gays in the military, gay marriage, racial division. Those things are only there to keep us in a never-ending Hegelian dialectic. The wise man knows how little he knows. I definitely don't know everything, folks, but I do know that when you're promoting positive vibes, when you're speaking positive things, when you are being the change that you want to see in the world, you're making good things happen. And at this point in time, after trying so many things myself and realizing that it really is as simple as that, the opposite consciousness that Albert Einstein is talking about, you cannot solve a problem with the same consciousness that created it. You must see the world anew. The opposite consciousness is the individual every day making a conscious effort to be as good and as positive and as truthful as you can. Why? I'll tell you why. If you're doing right because you don't want to go to hell, if you're doing right to keep from going to something that traditional theology is called hell, then you aren't doing it right, okay? If you're doing right merely to go to a condition that theologians have called heaven, you aren't doing it right. If you're doing right to avoid pain and to achieve happiness and pleasure, then you aren't doing right. Ultimately, you must do right because it's right to do right. You must love ultimately because it's lovely to love. You must be just because it's right to be just. You must be honest because it's right to be honest. Those are some words from Martin Luther King. And hey, no wonder they don't teach things like that in school, right? They teach, I have a dream, happy, feel-good stuff. Hey, I'm behind it, definitely. Everybody's the same underneath, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. Look at what rap music has done to blacks in America. I mean, really? I mean, come on. You know, people throwing up all these symbols and following Illuminati puppets and rap music and thinking they're street and thug, and little rappers like Lil Wayne dress up cross-dressed and kiss dudes on the mouth and all these other things. And even white kids who think they're black, they think that's cool. They think that's hood, that's gangster, that's ballin'. It's just a huge... Whatever happened to just trying to do right? Treating your neighbor how you want to be treated. And if you don't have neighbors, that means, hey, anybody you don't know. And I know, folks, it is hard. It is very hard to do. There's so many people out there just driving crazy. All they are is thinking about themselves. But be the bigger person. Be the better person. If enough people tried every day, day in, day out, because it's the right thing to do, then at least when you look back on these times, you can say, hey, I wasn't a part of that problem. I wasn't a part of that. I didn't contribute to that. Back to Ron Paul. Seeking the truth and finding the answers in liberty and self-reliance promotes the optimism necessary for restoring prosperity. seeking the truth, and finding the answers in liberty and self-reliance promotes the optimism necessary for restoring prosperity. The more independent you can be, the more self-reliant you can be, the better off you're going to be, folks. Set the example. You know, when I moved out here to this little mini farm I'm at now, a lot of people are like, oh, wow, that's just crazy. And they did the same thing to my girlfriend. And now, especially since some people have seen it, people are saying, oh, my, I want to live on a farm. I want to do that. And I'm not trying to be a leader or anything, but, hey, I'm living the life I want to live. I'm being the change that I want to be in the world. You better believe when springtime comes, I'm going to be out there like some farmer from the Victorian era, getting dirty, breaking my back every single day just to provide for myself, to have a little bit more freedom. So when food prices go up that much more, it's not going to hurt me that bad. It's still going to hurt. It's going to hurt all of us. But I'm going to have some food stored, and I'm going to be growing my own. Small little victories like that. Ron Paul in his farewell speech, another great quote, we need an intellectual awakening. Without an intellectual awakening, the turning point will be driven by economic law. A dollar crisis will bring the current out-of-control system to its knees. That's all we can do, right? Be the change that we want to see in the world. When the students are ready to learn, then the teachers will be able to teach. If you know that we have problems in this world, if you know that there's something greater than living on this planet, if you know that the way we're living is not right, not just, not honest, not good, if you know that we're controlled by a two-party dictatorship, if you know about genetically modified food, if you know about vaccines, you know about geoengineering, you know about all these different things, then you have the moral obligation to resist it in every way necessary. And that's the hard part, though, isn't it, folks? So many talk show hosts, so many other people out there saying that they have the plan, collective action. That's what it comes down to. And remember this, okay, because it's just going haywire right now. Collective action will solve this collectivist problem. It will not. It will not. It will not. And I keep stressing that because I just want so badly for people to see through that silly little hoax and realize that no amount of campaigning for liberty, no amount of occupying, no amount of tea partying, no amount of money bombing, it's not going to do anything. I hear another alternative news host out there saying that we need to go have an uninauguration ceremony on Martin Luther King Day. Believe it, folks? Martin Luther King Day is when the re-inauguration of Barack Hussein Obama is going to be held. So they want to have a uninauguration day to protest it. Folks, walk away. It's not going to do anything. You want to be part of the 6 million plus people that are in jail? Go ahead. Go ahead. How about the 420 protest, April 20th, 2013? If we even still live in the America that we live in right now, if it hasn't totally gone to you-know-what by then, let's go. Everybody go out and just smoke marijuana out in public so you can all go to jail to clog the system. Collectivist. You really think a jury of people who watch American Idol and think Justin Bieber is a role model, you really think they're going to vote not guilty for you getting caught smoking marijuana in public? No. Look what they did to that poor woman who tried to defend her 14-year-old little girl from getting molested at the airport. She was charged, guilty as charged. You don't talk back to a TSA official. You don't say bad things to them. Guilty. And it's just a hoax. It's a cruel hoax, folks. Only you can save yourself. Individualism is the key to resisting the collectivist problem. No amount of marching, no amount of organized protesting, no amount of taking back the government, none of that will work. The Americans don't want to listen. Let's see a great quote. Martin Luther King Jr. was a gun owner. Damn right he was. Excuse my language. Excuse me. But yes, he was. Because you can talk about peace all you want. And I try to be a peace or a voice for peace at the very least. I mean, they want us to be violent. They want us to flip out and go hurt people or be bad or, oh, the revolution is here. Let's go. No, they want you to do that. But hey, you better believe if someone comes to your house to take you away, that's where you need to make a decision. That's where we get back to the civil disobedience, right? If you have it in your heart, if you know that there is more than just man's law, because man is flawed. Man doesn't know what he's doing. And look what man has done. We've elected just the biggest jokes. I mean, it's literally like modern day Nero running around in America, hugging on gymnasts and kissing Asian people everywhere over there in Malaysia, wherever he is. I mean, it is just disgusting. Is that the law you follow? I don't. But hey, that's the truth of it, folks. We got one more segment. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sound of Freedom on the